you work for the Water Authority, correct?
Yes, Water Authority, Dickson County.
Actually, he got a new position there at the Water Authority.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Hey everybody, welcome to the ProfitDig live show. That's what we're going with now, isn't it? ProfitDig live. I like that now. That's a good name. Yeah.
Jerry ain't here, so we go all want to.
I'm Jeff Givens. I'm here with Jeff Spencer, with Scott Miller, special guest.
Thank you for having me.
You guys doing all right today?
Doing good.
Doing good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anything special going on? So you work for the Water Authority, correct?
Yes, Water Authority, Dickson County.
Actually, he got a new position there at the Water Authority.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So in January of last year, our current executive director took another position with the company, and they hired another local guy here, engineer here. His name's Danny Bledsoe, and he filled a gap at the Water Authority as executive director from February of 24 till December of 24. And in January of 25, our board appointed a new executive team, and they named me the CEO of the Water Authority.
CEO. That sounds good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And they named a CFO, which is Susan Tummins, and I'll go into a little bit more in depth about that. And then they named a CSO, which is a Chief Strategy Officer, which is Michael Rogers. And he was a manager of our engineering department, and actually had been promoted to general manager of technical programs. And I was general manager of operations, and Susan was our comptroller. So coming up in June will be my 27th year. Starting out with Turnbull Utility District, moving over to the Water Authority. Susan is just about a year behind me. She'll be about 26 years. And then Michael Rogers has been, he's been with the authority for about 10 years, but he's got about 25, 26 years of engineering experience in water and wastewater field. So they did that. I actually, after that was done, I actually promoted a fellow by the name of Tim Swall, which actually he and I hired on it the very same day in June the 1st of 1998, and he's going to be the general manager of operations, which in turn promoted Sean Tucker to distribution and collection manager. And
It's like a rising tide.
Yep. And David
Floats all ships.
David Stevens was promoted to the assistant distribution and collection manager. So that was kind of what's going on as far as management team and everything goes. So
Is that common to have that much change at one time?
well, when I moved up, somebody had to take my place.
I guess it was the level at which the change took place and caused a cascading effect.
Yep. So when I moved up, somebody had to take my place. That person moved up, somebody had to take their place. That person moved up, somebody had to take their place. So we actually have had to hire somebody else to fill in the gap.
But the best part I like about the whole thing is like y'all was able to do it all in-house. Didn't have to bring anybody in from outside of the county or anything else, So that's, I'm a firm believer in that, whether it be a company or an organization or whatever it may be, that you can utilize the employees you have and the growth that they've gained since they've been with that organization.
Absolutely. So the promotions that were made, you take me with almost 27, Susan with almost 26, Michael Rogers 10 at the Water Authority, and 25, 26 in the engineering field of water and wastewater. And you take Tim Swall with almost 27, Sean Tucker with 23 or 4.
There's a lot of
David Stevens actually has a little bit more time than I do. So we were actually able to promote from within with a lot of knowledge and a lot of background and
they know the system.
The institutional knowledge. The institutional knowledge of the Water Authority. That means a lot. From day one, they've worked their way up through. They know all our policies, our procedures, everything, and it helps a whole lot whenever you have that.
So is the Water Authority, is there a profit incentive there at all? Or is it more like...
We're a non-for-profit. We're a governmental entity.
Okay. And
we're
so,
not for profit.
so what would a chief strategy officer do? Is it mostly like reduce expenditures?
No, so he's more focused on the capital projects, the capital planning. So we've got a cash model that we maintain, and we forecast projects that we have coming up. And he's kind of in charge of doing that sort of thing. Plus, he's going to manage the engineering department. I mean, we'll have an engineering manager at some point, hopefully, but he'll kind of oversee that part. But he'll maintain our capital 10-year capital plan.
What kind of engineers do you have?
Civil.
Water authority.
Civil.
They're all civil.
Well,
Some
we have
mechanical?
one, and he's civil. Yeah,
Okay.
we don't. If we have any mechanical stuff, we usually contract that out. We've got consultants that work for us regularly. One of them is owner of the company, J.R. Wofford, Greg Davenport. And then there's another firm that we use a lot. It's Inflow Design. And the engineer that we use there is Kevin Colvette. And if y'all know Kevin, he's been in the water and wastewater business. And so is Greg. But Kevin's done a lot of rehab work, and then we use a company out of Houston County, Rye Engineering, and the owner of that company's Seth Rye. He does some design work and everything, but he's kind of built his business around leak detection, and so he can come in and do a whole. He actually helped us put together a leak detection program for our system.
So, when we're talking about water systems, I think, because you've been on here with us in the past,
Yes.
and we talked about like recirculation, cleaning and recirculation. But then for new water sources, like how do you identify where the best water sources are going to be? New water sources.
Well, as far as, so we have 3 water treatment facilities. One of them's on the Turnbull Creek, one of them's on on the Piney River, and one's on the Cumberland. And
Just typically just
So-
rivers.
correct. So the withdrawal, I mean, around here you're not going to get. I mean, we're maxed. We're not going to get any more withdrawal out of Turnbull Creek. We can pull 4.5 million gallons a day off of Turnbull. We can pull 2 out of the Piney, and the Cumberland River, as of now, the treatment capacity we have is 5, but I think our permit's like 20 million gallons a day that we can pull out of the Cumberland, and that's in 2002 when they consolidated the local utilities here in Dickson. They actually built a transmission line, built a raw water intake, state-of-the-art membrane filtration water treatment plant, and built a transmission line from the Cumberland River into Burns into our system, and that's the life of our system. Cumberland River is where any growth, anything we do, any upgrades, any more water that we need is going to be from the Cumberland River. So
Now, you see the impact on like decreasing water levels on the Cumberland River at all?
When you was talking about the Cumberland River, you have right now capacity to do 5 million gallons a day. So from what I heard you say a minute ago, like if your other 2 plants shut down, you could feed everything in the Cumberland River if need be.
we need 2 of them running. We certain times of the year we need all 3 of them running. I mean that was the reason for going to the Cumberland. But 2 of them running on a normal average daily demand, we can do it. But we can go for a little while with one. I mean we've got storage, but normally we want 2 of them running.
Yeah, I don't know. So when I'm thinking about it in my mind, you have water source coming in. That's just 5 million gallons a day. Sounds like that sounds like a lot of friggin' water.
So I actually just looked at this for another purpose. So our peak last year was about a little less than 8.
Like in one day.
In one day. Yeah, our average is, our average is probably around 6, a little over 6 million gallons a day. We don't run all 3 plants 24 hours a day, 7 days.
And how many houses for that? Let's
We
say
have,
6 billion a day. How many houses?
We have about roughly 21,000.
And I guess it would be businesses as well, right?
Yeah, all customers. We have about 21,000 customers.
Just on that one or through the
all 3 of them. Yep.
for all 3.
All 3 plants, yeah. In our system.
Okay.
So we cover the majority of Dickson County. We got Fairview in Williamson County. We got the water and wastewater in Fairview, and then and we sell some water to Bonacqua House as well.
Okay, so your scope's like much bigger than Dickson.
Yeah, we got a little bit of few customers in Huntley's County out South 48 in out there, but very few.
Out of that 6 million gallon a day, roughly, would that be a 50-50 split between commercial, industrial, and residential, or
More residential.
more residential?
Yeah, and I don't know what the percentage would be. Way more residential.
And is there like how much loss is there? Like if you pull in 6 million gallons, or to give you an easy number, 10 million in a day. Like what do you end up being able to send to a home, or to all those homes?
Our loss is a little less than 20%.
Okay. So
We usually maintain a little less than 20 on the average for the year. Now there'll be months when we have 27, 28, but there'll be months when we have 10.
and what happens to that less than 20%? Does it just go into the back into the
Leaks and this leaks and
Okay.
unaccounted for water is what they call that.
Unaccounted for water. Okay. So there's nothing like so that's quite a bit. 20%. Yeah.
That includes somebody who has a busted pipe.
We can account for that because it goes through the meter.
Okay.
Yeah. So the state we have to report that with our financial audit and all, and we can have it's 40% allowed.
40%.
Now that's not total unaccounted for. That's water pumped versus water sold.
Okay. Because I guess there's
So that takes into consideration all the leaks, everything that you have.
okay. I got you.
And then you, right now, just kind of put things in perspective, like you're saying y'all could average somewhere around 1.2 million gallons of loss per day.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's still,
If you're math,
it's still within the guidelines.
if you can do math in your head, I trust you.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about all three of them added?
Yes.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
correct.
And so how much of that is lost, like because the water's unusable, or it's like you treat it and it's not?
just disappears.
No, I mean that's just leaks and somebody stealing some water or something that we don't know about, or just if you think about it, you think about at night when everybody's asleep and you have a leak that, let's just say it's leaking 50 gallons a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at nighttime when everybody's asleep and you're not using as much water, then your pressure builds up in that system. So that leak, instead of 50 gallons a minute, and I don't know the numbers, but it could be leaking 75 gallons a minute at that point in time. So as the pressure increases, of course you're going to have more loss coming out of that leak. The gallons per minute is going to increase as well.
And are there like older homes that may not be accounted for that are just like we got water shooting out underneath up somewhere?
Well, I mean, there could be some that are leaking, but I mean, we have a meter on those, so we can account for that.
Okay. Yeah, 20%, man. 40% allowed. That just seems like a lot.
20% is really, really good.
That's good.
It's really
okay.
Good. Yeah.
Well, I remember last time you were talking about how good, like rating wise, like how good the performance is.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you think about, there's some water pipes in the city of Dickson that was put in the 30s,
Yeah.
40s, and so they're there's just leaks out there that you don't even know. We don't know they're there. Now we done a full blown water loss program, and we've got meters periodically out through our system, and we look at those every day. And we've got two guys. That's all they do is look for leaks all day long.
Really?
Yeah. So our goal is to keep that water loss under 20%.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd love it to be 5,
Yeah.
but our goal is to keep it under 20. And new technology with the meters we have now called AMRs and AMIs. And
What do those stand for?
so automated meter reading.
Okay.
And then AMIs are automated meter intelligence. So the AMIs they're on a cell base, and they actually give us readings I mean, they can do it every hour.
Yeah. Like there might not be a need,
They
right?
come back to our, yep. So,
And it's a cumulative measurement that it does, like cumulative flow over time.
yep, it's in gallons.
It's in
Yeah,
gallons.
it's in gallons, yeah. So the AMIs, which we're going to now, are cell-based, and they go straight to the office. We don't have to read those. The AMRs, we have to drive by, but we got a computer system in the car, and as you drive by those meters, it goes ping, 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 and it just starts dropping them off the computer screen, and it reads them as you drive by them.
Oh, that's cool.
And they store 45 days of data. So if somebody calls in and says, hey, my bill's high, I didn't use this water, but we can go pull a profile on it, and it graphs it all out, and we can tell. We've had people come in and say, there ain't no way I use this much water. We go out there and look at it, pull a profile, and you can see exactly, you know, they got horses or whatever, and you can go out there and you can see exactly when they turn the water faucet.
Oh, yeah.
Started putting water in the trough, and then you can see exactly when they shut it off. I mean, the graph will go up, and then it'll come right back down when they cut it off. So it's a really good customer service tool to be able to do that, because sometimes people don't realize they got a commode upstairs leaking.
Right.
Leaking by or different things like that. It's a really good customer service tool, and we have instantaneous information too. So, you know, we've got all the new ones. Any new customers come in are the AMIs, the cell-based meters. But we have started kind of going through and changing out some areas that we have some trouble in, so we can manage that loss a little better. So we've changed out in our Fairview system. We've changed out probably, I think there's about roughly 4,000 meters over, maybe 6, and we've changed out almost 3 of those to all of cell-based meters. Before it took about 9 hours to read Fairview before we put the cell-based in. So now it takes about 6 hours. So as we change those out, we won't even have to go over there and read those anymore.
Yeah.
So, and in time, we're trying to get it all, but it'll take a while. I mean, the meters, they got a 10-year full warranty on them and a 20-year, partial warranty where they start declining. And we changed them all out in 2001, 2002, and that technology was just coming out. The cell-based technology was just coming out.
So it's got to be a lot better.
Yeah, and it wasn't everybody. Nobody was. The confidence in those wasn't there. So that's why we chose not to do that. So.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for giving us all that great information,
Yeah.
Scott. That's super cool. I've actually got a lot more questions now that you started talking.
I figured you would.
The ticker starts going.
Yeah, I figured you would.
Hey, if you guys like this content, give us a like, share, subscribe on the video. This video was sponsored by ProfitDig.com, the world's best bidding and costing tool out there. So if you're in the construction business, check us out, ProfitDig.com. Hope y'all have a great rest of the day.
See you guys.
See you.